Oh, hi. Sorry, I was daydreaming there for a moment. But dreaming of you. Hi, I'm Debbie Levitt, and welcome to the Your Life After Tech weekly Ask Me Anything and Q&A and kind of live mentoring and coaching as I do on Wednesday nights. It's night where I am. And you are welcome to ask absolutely any question that's on your mind or open up any discussion. You can ask, wrong side, you can ask anything at lat.link/Q for questions. And yes, I am wearing a green hoodie in front of a green screen. So, it's all about transparency. So I am here to answer any questions you would like. I think a common, if we don't have any questions, of course, I'll bring up some topics and we'll see what you think. But this is always audience participation. And if for some reason you don't want to put something in the live chat, because it will show up on the screen, possibly with your name, always good to probably fake and weird, switch to Twitch. Doesn't have to be a comment on LinkedIn, or send in a comment and question through the anonymous system, and I will watch my email for those coming in. So I thought one thing that we could talk about, unless people have a different topic or question, is I'm getting a lot of questions, especially now that the US election has happened, of, well, don't we think that tech is going to turn around? Don't we think that there's going to be more jobs and jobs opening up next year? Well, if you're watching live, what do you think? Do you think that, not what do you hope or what do you wish? Do you really, really think that the job market that we're all suffering with now is going to be better when February, March, April 2025 comes? I'm curious what you think. I'm curious if you genuinely see the possibility of improvement. Again, not what you wish for. We all wish it'll be better. I'm curious what you think. So I'm also checking my email to see if anybody is sending in any anonymous thing. You can certainly send in anonymous stuff and I will read it, and I don't know who you are. But as of now, I am not thinking that it's going to get significantly better. I don't think that the results of the U.S. election make things better. I don't think that a small percentage rate change in Melanie. Hi, Melanie says, I don't, not in the U.S. Oh, it's not coming up on the screen. Let me press this button. There we go. So I don't either. And I think it's easy to think that way, especially to try to be positive, to try to have some wishful thinking. But I think that companies have been enjoying for a few years now being able to lay people off as they like, being able to dump longtime loyal workers and hire whoever they can choose next to work for less money. I think companies are enjoying too much success and however they perceive success with laying people off and making a lot of cuts. And I don't think that the calendar turning to 2025 or a new president coming in or an old president coming back significantly changes any of these things. I think these companies imagine themselves as being quite successful and in a good position. So why would they suddenly say, let's spend zillions of dollars and hire back a lot of those people? Ana Lucia says, it doesn't make things better, it might make it worse. That's also a possibility that I find a lot of people are not ready to talk about. What if the job market gets worse? And I think that is a possibility, given the idea that AI could be taking more jobs, as some people have been predicting. It could be worse if companies are really enjoying laying people off and making those cuts. I've written an article about the Section 174 tax changes, which I believe are partially responsible for the layoffs, and those were voted in by Trump the last time he was president. So if he feels that that was a good idea and he wants to do more of that, I would expect him to do more of that. That was where he voted in a tax cut for the rich, and that was offset by raising taxes for businesses, even small businesses. And so the problem there is if Trump or his group thinks that that was a good thing, that that was successful, that was a positive thing, even though it was one of the things that sparked a lot of the layoffs, then they might say, oh, wow, this is great. Lower the taxes for the rich even more, and or raise taxes on businesses. And of course, when businesses see their taxes changed or raising, what are they going to cut? It's very hard to get out of a multi-year lease or sell a building. They're probably going to cut people. Hey, Rachel S.J. Hello from Minneapolis. Hello. Melanie says, not to be pessimistic, which is totally allowed on any YouTube channel I run, but our upcoming U.S. administration is hostile to workers' rights. That's another good point as well. We've been seeing for years, you need a tech workers union, you need a tech workers union, and yet there are very few of those unions, and the things that I have seen about them are companies that don't recognize those unions. And if we don't have an administration that is going to push for workers' rights, then who's going to protect the workers or take a union seriously or things like that? I agree with Melanie. I'm not seeing that either. Ana Lucia says, to be honest, the political changes won't do us any good. It'll be good for billionaires, but we aren't a part of the beneficiaries. Yeah, I would have to agree. I think that that is not looking good. Oh, do I have a screen where I can easily show me with an article? Hold on. Me plus screen one. And then, hold on. I can pull up that article. Just give me a minute. Section 174, medium, Levitt. There we go. All right, let's see if I can pull this up on my screen without pressing too many of the wrong buttons today as a one-woman show. Hold on. All right, that's looking like something. So here we go. So Rachel S.J. says, I want to find your article on Section 174. I'm surprised not a lot of whole people are talking about it in light of the layoffs starting in 2022. So you can easily find my article. It was published on Medium, and it's called A U.S. Business Tax Law Change That Partially Caused Layoffs, Section 174. So I find if you put like Levitt, my last name, Medium, that's where I published it, and some of the words from the title, it'll usually come up. Or please follow me on Medium. You can follow me as Debbie Levitt. You can follow, I think this was in the R before D, but now we also have a Life After Tech publication, or you can just follow me and it'll be everything I publish no matter what publication I put it in. Hey, Yesterday in Gaming is here. Good to see you. Still not sure who you are, and that's fine. It's cool to be anonymous. Hold on, I can't watch my email because my email is crashing on my phone. So give me 1 second. App. Why? App. Email. Force stop. Yes. Storage. Clear cache. Okay. Open email. Yesterday in Gaming says, I tend to agree. I think businesses will be more willing to continue cuts. Elon Musk's close involvement with Trump signals to me that there will be a push for mass AI adoption even more than now. And Ana Lucia, speaking about the Section 174 tax changes, says, we were kind of hoping this would be retracted, but I'm pretty sure it won't now that the person that pushed for it is back in office. Yeah, and actually Congress some months ago was trying to vote on postponing this, though I don't know how you postpone a law that's already in effect, and that was voted down. So that's how that works. So yeah, this is a good one to read. And again, it's not an article pooping on Trump. I only mentioned in the article once that he was the person who voted for it. So there is no political opinion here. You might be happy for this tax law change. You might not be happy about it. You might not have known about it. So it's not a political article. It's just a mention that he was the person who put this tax law into effect. But it was written so that it would start in 2022, which is interesting because by then he was not in office, which would make it look like all the layoffs and all of the consequences of this were happening under Biden's presidency. Melanie says companies in more traditional industries are already laying off workers so they can buy as much raw material before U.S. tariffs go into effect. See, now there's someone reading the news. I don't read a lot of news, as some of you know, so I don't always know all the things that are going on. I like to say it keeps me healthier and younger. But yeah, Melanie's right. I ran into an article the other day, quite by accident, because I am trying to not read the news, and it was the government of Canada trying to reassure Canadian manufacturers that they would still have a good relationship with the U.S. and that they would still be able to export their goods to the U.S. even though the U.S. planned to raise their tariffs on that. And I think it said Canadian businesses would have 10% tariff. Does that sound right? Again, I'm not reading the news, so I don't claim to know everything that's going on, and maybe these things are changing. But Melanie's right. Businesses might reshuffle some of their budget to say, you know what, just cut people right now. We can always hire people later. There's lots of people looking for jobs. We can hire fast. But right now we need to spend that money on those materials. Yeah, you're better off doing that for sure. Yeah, I do recommend against watching and reading the news. There's a lot of things going on that I really don't need to know about. Does not improve my life. Yes, it means I am missing some details, but you know what? I'm doing okay. So yeah, that's another good point. We might see more layoffs or less hiring. I've also been predicting, if anyone saw my article today in the Life After Tech Medium publication or on the Life After Tech LinkedIn newsletter, I had an article today where I said, I think we're going to see an up. If anything is rising, I think it's going to be freelance and contract work. I think that companies would like to be able to hire people for less money because they won't have to pay perks and days off and health insurance and retirement accounts. I think companies that do hire are going to look more to freelance and contractor hires because there they can pay a little bit less and they can fire you without having to announce it. They don't have to announce, we didn't renew 10 contractors. Nobody cares. These aren't counted usually in labor numbers. And so I think that we'll see more freelance and contractor work. And that's just a guess. But even if we don't, I think we all feel like freelancers and contractors in that we can take a full-time job and quite randomly, we can be laid off. And so it doesn't have that feeling of stability that it used to. Rachel says, it'll be a 10 to 20% tariff on all imports and 60% on Chinese-made goods. That's so weird because I thought Trump was friends with China. Why would Trump want to tax China that heavily? I thought he was friends with them. Maybe they broke up? I don't know. So yeah, I think Canada, the article I saw, I think mentioned 10% maybe for Canada. Ana Lucia says if Canada wants, Europe would be a great business partner. Wink, wink. Yeah, sure. I mean, that's one of the nice things about the EU is that there are so many different climates and countries with different specialties, and we all trade with each other here. There's a lot of companies I've had to, or at least I don't want to say a lot, there's a handful of companies I've had to stop doing business with after Brexit because I could either no longer get their stuff here in Italy or it was literally being taxed 100%. When I get my sample print books from Ingram Spark, not Amazon, because Amazon prints in Italy and Poland, I think, for the EU. When I get my sample books from Ingram Spark, who sends them to me from the UK, I am taxed 100% of the value. Rachel says, I've been on the merry-go-round of being on contract UX roles without having much success in landing a permanent full-time role. My latest role I had for a little over 2 years being the exception. Yeah, and I wouldn't mind. I've done contract jobs for multiple years, and you know, that's fine by me. Hey, I would like to have any job at any reasonable rate of pay. Melanie says, Debbie, he's unhinged, no logic applies. Yeah, obviously, it's an opinion I can agree with. Not everybody will agree. I understand that. We might have people with different opinions here. But yeah, I wish these things made more sense. I wish that the people putting these laws into effect understood the outcomes, the true outcomes of these laws, because we know now what the outcomes are, and the question is, who do we support? If you just want to support the rich fat cat part. Rachel says, I hope that leaning towards freelance and contract work won't happen. It seems impossible for me to get permanent work. I don't know what to do to change that. But Rachel, even if you get a full-time job, it's not permanent anymore. There are people who have been at jobs for years and worked their way up and thought that they were safe and thought that they could stay their career there, and they were laid off. There are people who were at jobs for months and they thought this is the start of a beautiful thing, and they got laid off. So my article today reminds us that the full-time permanent jobs are not the stable things that we used to be able to count on. I just don't see them that way. Yesterday in Gaming says, I've been trying to escape corporate America and just stick to contract work, but there's a lot of issues associated with that. It's a pick your poison kind of situation. Just FYI, we haven't interacted before. I found your content via LinkedIn. I'm one of the many people from the design world exploring other things. Nice to meet you. Yes, I hope you'll join our Discord. We've got, I think, 170 people there. All people still hoping to work in tech, but also exploring different things and acting on different things. So yesterday in Gaming, I hope we'll see you in the Discord channel, and not just here once a week, though I'm always happy to see you. Rachel says, the instability, whether working contract or permanent role, is starting to break me. Yeah, I need some emojis I can put up on the screen for love and support. I don't think I have any emojis ready to go. Let's see. What can I load up here? Okay, I was like, this isn't Firefox. I still control stuff on my phone from Firefox. Oh no, that's Firefox. It's not coming up. Oh, well, thanks. Oh, wait, maybe here? Let's see. Oh, that's the lightning. Sorry, that's the wrong button. Hearts? Okay, that's the best I can do right now. Jay, hey, how you doing, Jen? I think it's Jen Dungan, right? From memory. Another big question is what's going to happen with health insurance? That used to be a huge perk for some full-time work. Then the ACA helped freelancers. We'll see what's next. Rachel has a whole bunch of grumpy emojis, which I forgot to have on the screen. Elisette says, how do I join the Discord? Super question. So all of the Life After Tech stuff, you can scan the QR code, is at lifeaftertech.info. I got to get that on the screen. I got a note to self. LAT on screen. So lifeaftertech.info, or I'm sure if you Googled Life After Tech, it would come up. And then there's a page called Resources, and that's got link to the free Discord, the podcast, which just released episode 5. Episode 6 is coming tomorrow. I just recorded 7. I've got to edit it. Yeah, I do not want to see Rachel broken by any of this. And yes, lots of questions about health insurance in America. Obviously, in other places, this is not the same situation. Here in Italy, we have socialized medicine that everybody has the right to. Even if you're making, I think I have to prove that I make at least 9,000 American dollars a year to have access to the free health care. And in many cases, they give it to people who don't make that anyway. So it's a very different world. Ana Lucia says, one of the things that's been bugging me a lot is how some older people seem to be so out of touch with reality and then criticize whoever is unemployed or looking for work. It's not like I'm happy. Yeah, and I think it's not just older people, because I'm definitely older than you. I don't know about old enough to be your mom, but I'm getting there. And I don't think it's necessarily older people. Let's just call them out of touch people, or maybe narcissists, or maybe dickheads. Yeah, definite hearts, Rachel. Yeah. what is this email that's coming in? If anybody has anything they want to bring up, please go ahead and send your question or comments to lat.link/Q. That's for anonymous questions, but of course you can always say something in the chat and it'll come up here. Rachel has a question. Okay, great. Rachel says, what advice would you give if I wanted to still be in UX design or research, but not be part of the more toxic big tech culture if roles won't be as permanent anymore? I ask because I have a BA in anthropology and I got a 2-year degree from a technical school in web and UX design, which focuses on making technology and experiences better for people. So this sounds like a common question I get, which is, how can I kind of move a little bit laterally? If I'm in UX now and I kind of want to stay in UX, what else can I do? And that's always a hard one because there's the advice that people used to give. I don't think it works anymore. I can't say, oh, go be a product manager, because all the product management jobs want to see that you have years in product management. And if you don't, I don't know why they would hire you. Hooray, people joining the Discord. Thank you for joining. Oh, great. Thank you. I'm happy you like the book, Rachel S.J. And Rachel S.J., if you haven't already left it a review on Amazon, please do. You don't have to have bought it there. You can go to lat.link/review, and that will show you how to leave a review on Amazon, which does not check if you bought it there. So thank you. That goes for all of you. So how can you still be in UX design or research but not part of toxic big tech culture? That's really hard because a lot of cultures are toxic. Some of you know I'm back in school to learn coaching, traditional standard coaching, and kind of in the life coaching and executive coaching bucket. And the people who run my school told me that there is an uptick in coaching being needed by company leaders and executives because the cultures are so toxic. So it sounds like a lot of companies have toxic cultures, probably know it, and don't care. We have a new video on the Your Life After Tech YouTube channel. It is a comedy video I made about corporate culture. So you can head on over to the YouTube thing and look for, we've got a new playlist. I think it's called Satire, or I'm doing a series called Bad Job Interviews, and that I've only released the first one so far. Thank you, Rachel, for leaving a review later. And Melanie's asking the audience a question. Question for everyone here. What other industries are you considering getting into right now? So I'll put some of these questions just in my note so I can add them to the YouTube description as some of the things we talked about. Okay, oops, I wrote 2015 instead of 2025. Hello, everybody. I guess that's what year I wish it were. And thank you again, Rachel, for those super kind words. And Melanie is asking what other people are getting into. Oop, I copied and pasted the wrong thing. Melanie, I know from some of the people in our Life After Tech Discord, I've seen a couple of people mention kind of landscape design or garden design. Ana Lucia says for her it's mostly been older people, not including me, and tired of when I was your age I had X kids or X places hiring. If someone complains about the minimum salary is not livable, they go on a rant saying when I was your age the salary was X. Yes, my father used to say, I remember when hamburgers were a nickel, and I'd be like, does not matter. Objection, irrelevant. What else are people going into? Someone from our Discord was starting an interesting master's degree, and now I forgot what it was. It was Marjolaine. What is she studying? Does anyone remember? Yeah, we've seen a couple of interesting things mentioned in the Discord channel. Some people still figuring it out. Yesterday in Gaming says, Rachel, you and I are in the same boat. I come from UX research. I feel that trying to do good work at these companies is like trying to force a square peg into a round hole. Yeah. And again, chapter 13 says it's okay to do a tech job, do your best, and go home and forget about it. You might just have to do the best you can given what the company is letting you do, given the boundaries, the limitations. Yes, join the Discord. We hope to see you there. I would say the Discord is mildly active. It's still a little quiet. We have about 170-ish people there. I would say there's a couple of posts or comments every day. I wish it were much more active. So I really hope that people will start telling each other about the Discord. It's totally free. There is no charge. It is not a club to join. I do have a Patreon, but that's free also. And so there's there's very little I'm charging for right now in the Your Life After Tech multiverse. Also, quick note, if you go to the Life After Tech website, lifeaftertech.info, or just do lat.link without the Q. That'll dump you there. I should have a top level nav thing that says coaching. So some of you know that I've gone back to school for life coaching. I am required to practice. So I am doing coaching sessions outside of my usual UX work coaching. I'm doing coaching sessions. First one is free. And then after that, I'm charging $10 for a half hour because I need to get in the practice and I'm supposed to charge something. So if anybody wants something that's more in the life coaching, personal improvement, organization, communication type of thing, it's not therapy. We're not trained as therapists. I'm not going to ask you about your past. You can mention your past, but I'm not going to dig into your past. But if anybody wants to try a coaching session, please do. The first one is free, and if you want to continue, great. If you don't, that's fine too. And if $10 is too much, let's talk, because I have to charge something after the first one, but it doesn't have to be any number in particular. And there's a lot of hours of practice I need to get my first certification, and then my second. Ana Lucia says, I'll most likely stick with healthcare or health tech to be able to make use of my strengths and experience, not leaving UX, just focusing my efforts. Yesterday in Gaming says, I've been trying to find jobs that are more mechanical in nature and try to reserve the design talents for other personal business ideas. That's right. Nobody said you have to put 100% of your person into your job. Go to your job and do a great job, even if it's a bit mechanical, even if it's a bit coloring in the numbers, and then have your energy for the things that are truly your passion. Rachel says, yesterday in Gaming, I feel the same way. I feel like it's been a challenge to translate my work and how it'll improve business metrics, making the argument that good designer research pays off. Yeah, come on to the Discord, everybody, and let it out. Let's see. So meanwhile, we've had a few people join the Discord while I'm talking, so that's great. Make sure you say hi in the Introduce Yourself channel, where I will turn you into a thread. So yeah, we've got a few people. I will put a little wavy hand here so you know that I see you. I like someone named Cow Moo. The cow goes moo. Great. We have 172 people in the Discord with 19 people online right now. So again, not the most active place, but I really hope it'll build over time. I also think my book is a good present for the holidays to yourself or to someone you know. Considering the book is $10 for the digital version and $18 for a print version, who can you buy one for? Who is struggling with all of this and thinks that they just have to keep waiting, even though they were laid off a year ago or sometimes more? I wish we could get those people some help and bring them into the club. Oh, good. Another Phoenix joining. Thank you for everybody joining you all have great names on Discord. Let's see. Yesterday in Gaming says, I feel like we need to protect that flame because many people want to exploit it. Rachel, I feel that UX research to most stakeholders is just marketing with a different name. Yeah, a lot of people still don't get it, and I'll always try to defend it if anyone cares, but you never know. Rachel says, I wonder if being able to partner with others can help translate the impact. Yeah, I've been saying that for years. Try partnering with anybody who you can, especially marketers. Look for where your company thinks the money is made. Sometimes that's marketing. So go to marketing and say, what do you wish you knew? What information about our users or customers could really help you make better strategies, priorities, and decisions? Yeah. I'll introduce myself in the Discord and ask the same questions. I'm eager to hear you. Great. Any partnership is a good one, but I would say usually marketing and sales might be good choices because that's where the company believes the money is made. That's where they usually do a lot of investment. They want to see sales people making sales if your company has sales. They want to see marketing people bringing people to the site and getting them to sign on or join or buy. So marketing could be a good choice as well. Partnerships are good. Hey, no matter who you are, and no matter what your tech role is, partnerships can be good. Yeah. Oh, great. Lots of people joining the Discord. Thank you. I just want to see us really build up a strong community with people talking about stuff and helping each other and supporting each other. And I think of it as a safe space, but it's only a safe space because we trust each other and we're going to take care of each other. Rachel says, that's why I balk at UX being strictly labeled as a marketing activity. I'm really bad at selling. Yeah, I don't think UX is strictly a marketing activity, but I think anybody we can partner with is worth it. And that goes for everybody. If you're an engineer, who can you partner with? If you're a product manager, who can you partner with? If you're a business analyst, who can you partner with? To me, we're not doing enough of that at our jobs. And then everyone complains that everybody's in a silo. And I just think we can all do better. Will that save our jobs? I can't guarantee it. Will that make people understand you better? I can't guarantee it. But to me, these are the things that are worth trying. And at least you can say, hey, I did my best. I tried. Now I'm going to go work on my real passion. Speaking of real passion, as an experiment, for the last 2 Saturdays, I've been sending my live karaoke stream, not just to my other Twitch channel, my secret karaoke Twitch channel, but to LinkedIn. And you know what? They're the most popular live streams I've ever done. So I don't know if that says something about me, something about LinkedIn, or both. But all I know is my karaoke streams are doing really well on LinkedIn. So I'm going to do them more often. Hoping to do them Saturday night, my time, Saturday afternoon for you East Coast Americans. Okay, Rachel's got a question. Let me put that on my list. And we could also put it up on the screen since we have a place for questions. Okay. Would you say that CX could be a good area to move into? Laterally is a related field. I have experience working in retail and solving problems for shoppers. So the way that the general advice that I give about these types of lateral moves is you have to read the job description. If a job, I can't even think about titles anymore. If something says UX, CX, product, it almost doesn't matter anymore. Look at the job description. Do you qualify? That's really it. Because with so many people out of work and so many people applying for jobs, and I've been saying this for years, I don't think it's worth applying to a job that you don't qualify for. Now, I got bitched out many years ago on LinkedIn by people who thought that was pessimistic and gatekeepy and that everyone should apply for everything even if they don't qualify, and I should support people doing that. I didn't support that a few years ago, and I don't support it now, because the reality is if a company is getting hundreds or 1,000 applications, there's a really good chance that well-qualified people are in that group. So why would they pick me? Why would you pick me for something I'm not qualified for if you have all of these candidates that are well qualified? So I think that To me, it only makes sense to apply for things that you are decently qualified for. So, Rachel, if you see a CX job and it says, hey, we're hoping that you can do some qual research and some quant research, you go, yeah, I can do that. And they say, and we're hoping you can do customer journey mapping and this. Yeah, I can do that. Look, if you qualify, apply. That's it. That, to me, that's the bottom line. If you can apply for a job, apply. If you can qualify for a job, apply. Now, you can apply for jobs you don't qualify for. You're welcome to do that. But then please don't be surprised if you're rejected or ghosted. Rachel says LinkedIn is the new Facebook. I only follow people who have a healthy outlook on technology, I lost my spot. Design work, etc., and ignore everything else. Yeah, Ana Lucia just was posting to the Discord about doing a nice cleanup of her LinkedIn and kind of unfollowing some people, which I thought was a super idea and something more of us should do. Ana Lucia says, yes, take care of yourself and make sure LinkedIn remains a healthy space for you. Block, mute, and remove connections at will. Guilt-free. Do what you have to do. I agree. I even block people. Yeah, sure. I think I have 350 people blocked now. I'm not at the limit, but I always worry I'll get there. Yesterday in Gaming says, yeah, I think learning the language of the other departments is key, but in my personal case, I've been trying to build my own small personal businesses so I can learn and practice. For example, if you wanted to learn about marketing, you could try to do affiliate marketing or something similar. I feel like there's things out there where you can learn by doing. Yeah, learning by doing is not a bad idea. Learning by doing with a mentor or coach is even better because, like, for example, can you teach yourself piano? Sure. If you got some help with piano, could that go better? Probably. So I think that learning by doing is always great, but teaching yourself can be tough when it's a complicated topic. So I would say if you are trying to learn some new things, see if you can find a mentor or coach or advisor who can hopefully look in on your work and help you improve and make sure that you're doing great work, especially if it's something you think you want to put in a portfolio and be able to show as a sample of your work. You probably want someone from that arena to say, oh yeah, you're doing good work. This will look good on a resume or portfolio, or hey, if a hiring manager saw this, they would be impressed, or whatever the case may be. Let's see. Just checking some comments on my LinkedIn post. Hey, how long have we been going? 40 minutes. All right. So usually I'm here for an hour. If people don't have questions or comments or other topics that are on their mind, because this is your time to get a little bit of free advice and support on the topics of careers, career direction, and obviously some of the personal and mental health issues that go with that, though obviously there's only so deep I can go on a live YouTube stream about mental health, but certainly we've got our Discord group for support, and again, just go to lat.link without the Q. That'll take you to the Life After Tech website. Check the resources page, sign up for some coaching with me, more in the life coaching bucket, and let's talk. Ana Lucia says, it's kind of silly, but my boyfriend has been pushing me to do some streaming, gaming related to improve and practice my English. I'm thinking about it. Oh, that would be Twitch. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're doing gaming streaming, that's got Twitch written all over it. So, yeah, I only go to Twitch. On Twitch, I only follow musicians and Mystery Science Theater and Riff Tracks, but who are streaming both on Twitch and on YouTube. But, yeah, I think why not? You just have to remember that everyone starts with 0 followers, and even after a couple of weeks, you might have 3 followers. You know, you just have to remember that you may or may not get a huge following fast, but you just have to consider, what are you doing it for? Are you doing it for the following, or are you doing it for some other reason? Yesterday in Gaming says, agreed, having help is preferable. If not, it can be a rough road of trial and error. Yeah, when you don't have that mentorship or help or advising, sometimes you don't even know when you're making a mistake. And so the trial and error can be even wackier because you don't know you've made a mistake possibly ever, or possibly until late in the game. Okay, Rachel's got a question. Let's copy paste that, and let's also put that on the list for what will be the YouTube description when we're all done. Oh, and you've just added to it. Hold on, YouTube's got a limited amount of text in the comments, so let me grab that. All right, there we go. I think I got it. Do you have any advice or people you'd recommend I could reach out to get guidance on applying to design or research roles in the federal government? In my last role, I was a subcontractor there, and I enjoyed the work and making an impact on a large scale. We do have someone in the Discord who's applying to government jobs right now. It's Kristen, but I forgot her Discord name because it just shows up as boxes for me. So that's a bit of a mess. Michelle Packran is not part of our Discord, but she's part of our Delta CX Slack. You can track down Michelle Packran maybe on LinkedIn and reach out to her. Michelle is Michelle, and Packran is, I think, Pakron. Rachel says, I love Mystery Science Theater and Riff Tracks. I watch and listen to them while working. Yeah, I watch and listen to them all day now that they're streaming 24 hours a day. It's like my dream come true. Though I think my husband's a little tired of it. Though he will sing along with the theme song now. He'd never heard it before. Adriana, good to see you, says same question. Yeah, I have not worked for the U.S. federal government or any governments, and so I am not familiar with that. I don't believe I qualify for certain roles given my location, but yeah, I don't know. There's some people in my world have started applying for those jobs and getting those jobs, but I don't really know how they find them. But from what I can tell, they're just finding them online and applying for them through normal processes, because especially since it's government, it's not like they're going to sneak their friend in or circumvent a hiring process. So I think you just have to find wherever these jobs are posted, possibly not LinkedIn, and just apply like everybody else. That would be for the jobs coming directly from the government. When people are looking for subcontractors, I don't even know where to start with that, because I don't know how people find those people. Oh, Michelle's last name, Packron. I think it's Pakron, Michelle Packron. She was just posting today about how she was going into the office and had to dress up, and how funny it was to be dressed up and stuff like that. Let me see if I can find her on LinkedIn. Now, don't everybody rush at her. She doesn't need that. I'm spelling her name wrong. I'm typing badly. Give me a second. I want to go to sleep, but my course is at midnight tonight. Michelle Packron, Pakron. Michelle with 2 L's. So don't everybody bug her. Yeah. Yesterday in Gaming says, I try to remind myself I can try something and abandon it shortly later. I've done that many times with zero shame. It's a skill. Yeah, absolutely. I tell people, go ahead and try different things, whether that's things in your personal life, with your hobbies, with your work. Just try things, and if they work, go for it. And if they don't work, dump it. I can think of a very, very funny story surrounding that. I don't know if Melanie is still here, But many years ago, some years ago, I was in therapy, and one of the subjects that I brought up was how a lot of people had kind of pooped on me throughout my life for not being more feminine. That I have some very stereotypically masculine traits, and I kind of was questioning, like, should I be more feminine? And my therapist, who was great and always had funny ideas, said, like, why don't you go do one thing that is like very stereotypically feminine, though it can also be done by men. She said, why don't you go take a belly dancing class? Then you're going to have to go out there and be very feminine and wiggly and so on. And I was like, fine, I'll try anything once. And where I lived, they actually had a place where they gave belly dancing classes, and you could pay the money and go in. And I did that, and it was in like one of those like dance class rooms with the bar and the glass wall, the mirrored wall. So there were like 25 people or so. It was pretty popular. And I was in there, and it was all women, and everybody looked so smooth and wiggly. And there was me with my exceedingly stereotypically not feminine movements, and I left the class crying. And I went to my therapist the next day. This is probably almost 20 years ago, 13, 12 years ago. No, 2006, 7? I guess that's coming up on 20 years ago. Anyway, the next time I saw the therapist, I said, well, that was a freaking disaster. I left the place crying, and that was really awful. And I said, you know what? Maybe I should just accept who I am. Maybe it's okay to not be more feminine. Maybe it's okay to be this way or that way, or whatever. Maybe it's just, maybe I should be working on accepting myself rather than trying to make myself something I'm not. And she was kind of like, like she was waiting for me to figure that out for myself. And then I was like, oh. But I guess if belly dancing had worked for me, she would have smiled and agreed with that as well. But it certainly didn't. So go ahead, everybody. Go take a belly dancing class. Go try whatever the hell you want. And if you don't like it, you don't have to do it ever again. I did not go back to belly dancing class. Ana Lucia says, I'm not sure if I have the right profile to stream, but I'd need the practice since English is not my first language and I'm a bit rusty. And Yesterday in Gaming says, you don't have to stream it live. You can do videos you can edit. Yeah. Rachel says, not being feminine or masculine is a dumb critique. Well, dumb is unfortunately an ableist word, so we're going to stop saying that. But yeah, I agree. Certainly it's something that I ended up deciding, this is who I am. This is who I've always been. I've always been the tomboy. And though I do like long hair, I've always been the tomboy. And, that's it. I'm gonna start loving that about myself instead of finding a reason to not like that about myself. And that's fine, and I will date people who don't mind that. And I ended up, my previous boyfriend before the husband I'm married to now, my previous boyfriend didn't like me wearing makeup. He thought it was like a layer of fakeness, so it's like, so I managed to then find people who didn't have a problem with that issue or see it differently than I do, kind of thing. Like people who were like, yeah, you can dress how you want, you can do what you want, don't put on a layer of fakeness. So it all works out. It can work out when you get some self-awareness. Let's just check if we have any anonymous stuff that I've been missing. No. Oh, boy. An unneeded critique. Editing would be another challenge altogether. I don't like my recorded voice, but any of the ideas would be better than doing nothing. I don't have many opportunities to practice. Yeah, I think, does italki still pair up people for conversational practice? I TALKI, hashtag not sponsored. I wonder if that could be a place for you to practice your English with people. Yeah. Oh, I have to stay awake for so many more hours, everybody. Tonight is my coaching course. Tonight's topic is managing time through core values. That sounds pretty good. Yes, that's very true. We often bump into a bunch of things we don't like in order to figure out where our own boundaries are. It can feel like we're doing something wrong when this happens. Yeah, sure. And sometimes we're just finding ourselves or redefining ourselves. And I've had plenty of questions over a very long time. And I think if I grew up in a different time, I would have addressed those questions differently. You know, because ultimately some of my questions were gender. And I think if I grew up in a time where this type of gender questioning or gender fluidity was more accepted and more of a topic like it can be now, at least in America, I think I would have had different questions and different answers. But, you know, but hey, other than that, I'm just going to keep defining and redefining myself however the hell I want. I've got nobody to make happy other than me. Well, I've got a great husband, but you know, he can make himself happy. He's very good at that. And then we partner together for happiness. So, quick note, we are doing this show every Wednesday. You can find it in the calendar event thing over at lat.link, which is our Life After Tech website. Just drop the Q off that. The resources page should have a link to the calendar. That's got both my Delta CX events and my Life After Tech events. So you can follow those. If you're in the Discord, look for the channel that is called Events, Edu, and Media. So Events, Education, and Media, we've got a channel in Discord. There it will, a bot will pull stuff from the calendar and drop it in there to remind you. You can even set a role on Discord to at your role and remind you of these things. So yeah. Oh, great. Adriana. Lots of super people joining the Discord. Super. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I hope people don't mind me sharing some of my personal stories and past stories. I'm always hoping that something I've gone through or thought about or struggled with or made a decision on can help someone else. The good news is that the coaching style that I'm learning in school is to not do that at all. You do not talk about yourself at all. You do not make it about yourself. You do not come up with the ideas. Coaching is about asking people thoughtful questions so that they find the answers in themselves. Kind of like my therapist did, but that was the long way around. Yesterday in Gaming says, yeah, that's why I like the idea of pursuing arts or particular practices rather than seeking a career path. Like you said, in a different time, we could have had easier into a role. But of course, we can build it into this timeline as well. Yeah. I mean, I ended up in UX somewhat by accident. And I could always regret things and wish I had done things differently and wish that things had changed. But I've also ended up here, and there's a next thing, you know? That's why the book says redefine yourself and discover new work opportunities, because I think some of this is going to be, for some of us, separating our definition of ourselves as a worker, or I'm a UX researcher, and looking at how to really, define ourselves as humans, not based on our work. Because like if we knew each other outside of work and you said, hey, who are you? Tell me about yourself. I wouldn't start with, hi, I'm a UX researcher. That's not the first thing I'm going to say. So how do we redefine ourselves, especially when it's a conversation outside of work? But for many years, I did define myself very much by my work and by UX stuff. So Yesterday in Gaming says, souls, not roles. Not that you have to believe in a soul, but you get the idea. Yeah, this is a non-religious channel, but I get the idea. It's who you are inside, and the role doesn't matter, because who you are inside might not change that much, but your job might. I agree 1,000%. Yeah, I mean, I had jobs. I had a career before UX. I worked in the music business in New York City. I took a band on tour. I worked in a famous recording studio. I booked shows. I managed artists. It wasn't a very long career, but I had a career in the music business, and I decided to get out of it on the assumption that it didn't have a good future. I ended up being right. Now, of course, my career also has a potentially not great future, but I'm ready for it because I'm planning, I'm taking action. That's all I can do. Plan and take action. I can't control these things. I can only redefine myself, reinvent myself, refocus what I'm working on. Oops, I still have that question on the screen. Sorry. Help. I need an assistant producer. Rachel says, the part of the Life After Tech book that touched on focusing on the qualities that attracted me to UX and design and research really shook me in a good way and is still making me think about what I can do next. Chapter 5. Chapter 5 is let's take a look at your core personal qualities and some core personal qualities you wish you had or would like to improve. This is a lot of the core introspection of the book, and some of the exercises grow out from that. So if you skip that exercise, you're gonna miss a lot after that. It's an important exercise to do. It is not an easy exercise. Even during the editing process, we found that the editors were like, oh, I have to say nice things about myself? Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's not a comfort zone. But it's still important. It's important to find nice things about yourself. And I think it's also an important foundation in forming relationships with other people. You know, when I think about, I don't know, is Melanie still here? Melanie, are you still here? When I think about someone like Melanie, who I've met in person a few times, I feel like, wow, this is someone I feel connected to. I feel like we have things in common. But it's not just a Mystery Science Theater or a certain band or something. It's like, okay, Melanie and I aren't identical people, but I think we're similar people. And that's what's going on at the core. Rachel says the planning part of that can be a challenge for my ADHD brain, but I'm eager to do the work in a way that best suits me. Yeah, obviously people plan differently. Another Rachel in are you the same Rachel? I don't think you're the same Rachel as the Rachel in our Discord who recommended, is it Sunsama? Someone help me spell that. It's like a planning and to-do tool, especially for people with ADHD. Sunsama, SUNSAMA, hashtag not sponsored. I have nothing to do with them, but the Rachel, the current Rachel in our Discord, said that she loves that app, and it's worth the money. It does have a free trial. I'm not sure it's right for me and my style. Oh, great. More people joining the Discord. Thank you so much. But take a look at that tool and see if something like that might help. For me, what I find helps are a couple of checklists, but mostly putting a lot of things into my calendar. Once it's in the calendar, it'll probably get done. If it's not in the calendar, it's not going to get done. And I don't feel overwhelmed by seeing a zillion things on my calendar. I use a color system for what's movable and what's not movable. So, Sunsama, I use that tool every day and I love it. Great. Okay. Other Rachel was saying that in our Discord. I don't think that's you. I think that's other Rachel, right? yeah, I forgot. Where's Rachel Elizabeth. She shows up as Rachel Elizabeth in the Discord. Rachel Elizabeth _ Yeah, she recommended that to I think everybody, but I didn't try it. I'm pretty good with how I do things, but I hear good things about it, and I'm happy to hear from you that you like it as well. I told my husband to take a look at it since I don't think he's neurodivergent, but I think he's not good at time management. So I said, take a look at that. Oh no, one of my favorite YouTubers is putting out another video. You know, I've noticed something funny about the YouTubers that I tend to watch. What do they all have in common? Okay, now some of them are comedians. That's fine. But some of the other YouTubers I've gotten into in the last 6 months or so, I've noticed that they have whistleblower personalities, and they're calling out charlatans. Sound familiar? So I've been watching some of those. I guess YouTube started recommending them to me for different reasons. I don't think YouTube got that about me. I think that it thought I was interested in what the single topic one particular video happened to be on. And then when I started watching things from that YouTuber, I was like, wait a minute. They're a critical thinker calling out charlatans. This is right up my alley. So that's some of the stuff that I watch when it's not Mystery Science Theater. Which at this point I'm watching every day. Rachel, what is your favorite Mystery Science Theater episode? Mine is Ring of Terror from season 2. It's the Mr. Beast fallout effect. I don't watch Mr. Beast, so I don't know what that means. Anybody else who's here, if you watch Mystery Science Theater, what is your favorite episode? I would have to go with Ring of Terror for mine. I feel like I have that memorized at this point. Some lives are filled with happiness, some with sadness, and some with a creamy nougat center. That is 100% me as well. Yeah, I figured. All right, we've been here an hour. I'm trying to keep these shows to around an hour, but I really appreciate the discussions that we've been getting into, the questions you're asking, the thinking and searching that we're all doing right now. I'm also thinking about, let's get a quick vote on this. I've been thinking about recording pre-recorded videos with maybe just like some coaching ideas or coaching advice, little short videos like, hey, here's something from the life coaching side of my world. Here's an exercise you can try if this is bothering you, or blah, blah, blah. Like, does that sound good? Does that sound like something we should do? Oh gosh, that's a huge question. Fantasy sword adventure. Oh, the Russo Finnish productions. Yeah, oh my God. Sampo. The Sampo. Yeah, those are wild. I love people who can reveal deception and how it's done. Yeah, so let me recommend the 2 YouTubers I've stumbled on lately. They're very different from each other. You may or may not like them. I stumbled on Gabby Bell. Has anyone seen Gabby Bell? I think it's Gabibelle. She's in her 20s. She's a comedian and musician. And I think I found her when YouTube recommended her video, something like Everything Wrong with AI. It's just really, she's a cute little kid to me because she's half my age, but I like her a lot. Where is the Sampo? The final sacrifice. Oh my God. And all the Hercules movies. So Gabby Bell, I've been kind of liking, not all of her stuff, but a lot of her stuff. And I think she's funny and super cute. Who I've really fallen for, even though a lot of his videos end up kind of the same, because if you watch a few, you'll see why. Wings of Pegasus. Wings of Pegasus. Anybody watching Wings of Pegasus? Oh, you're subbed to Gabby Bell. Cool. I only just discovered her a few weeks ago, and I was like, I am not her target audience, but I kind of like her. Wings of Pegasus. Anybody watching Wings of Pegasus? So Wings of Pegasus is a British guy named Phil, F-I-L. He is a professional musician and has been for over 20 years. He has a fantastic 1970s shag haircut. Oh my God. And most of his videos, not all of them, but most of his videos are people send him a link to a video and they ask questions like, is this person lip syncing or miming, as the British say? Are they auto-tuned? Are they pitch corrected? And he has this whole system he uses to show you data, like hard to disagree with data, that pretty much everybody is lip syncing or auto-tuned. It's depressing. Knowing Better, Ordinary Things, Johnny Harris, and Fundy Fridays are very good. I've never heard of any of those. I must not be the right age. I will tell you some of the other YouTubers I'm subscribed to, just in case people are curious and want to discover some new peeps. How to Cook That. Does anybody watch How to Cook That? I really enjoy her. Somebody give me a decent Discord name. How about Yesterday in Gaming? I like How to Cook That. It's an Australian woman who's a food scientist, and usually she's debunking really bad recipes or food hacks. Who else? Ryan George. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of Ryan George on all of his channels because he's got like 3 now. What else? I'm going through my stuff here. Who are some of these? Oh yeah, Religion for Breakfast. So I'm not religious, but you don't have to be, because Religion for Breakfast is a PhD in history. He focuses on religion from a historical perspective, so he doesn't take any view of what's the right religion or who's the real God. He just takes a look at what archaeological evidence do we have or historical evidence for different things in different religions. And so I think that's just an interesting intellectual adventure. I guess that's, yeah, but mostly I'm watching Mystery Science Theater, Wings of Pegasus. How to Cook That is fantastic. Rachel, we have some things in common. I show her debunking videos to my spouse, who was a chef in a past life, and the looks on his face when watching the TikToks are funny. Yeah, that is never gonna work. Yeah, so Mystery Science Theater. Let's see, who else am I watching? I haven't adopted too many new subscriptions lately, but these are some of the new people I've discovered this year, like Gabby Bell. And I never miss a religion. Rachel, we're twins. Oh, you attended his Eventbrite events. I thought about that too. Love his work. Yeah, I do too. I love his early videos where he's so young and trying to be like super dramatic with his hair flips. I really like Ryan George. I'm also enjoying Ben Askins. Okay, I don't know Ben Askins. Interesting. Yeah, so these are the types of things I'm watching. And then I think some of you also know that, let me see if I can find her channel. Why isn't it come? Well, then some of my favorite musicians, of course. But here, let's find this. Tech Twins. So I don't know, a year or so ago, I thought ASMR was the most ridiculous thing on the planet. It can't help anybody. It has to suck. It must be terrible. It's a sham. And then I decided to give it a try. And I discovered Chiara, Chiara ASMR. She is Italian, and she is speaking Italian. However, Italian appears to have been made for ASMR. If you like ASMR, she has over 1 million subscribers, And she does ASMR videos of all different types. So whatever ASMR stuff works for you, she's got it. She's got visual-based things, sound-based things, different props and stuff. And disregard that it's in Italian. She's really good. And she has microphones I am deeply jealous of. I looked up some of the prices of the microphones she has. She'll have like 2 microphones set up, and they're each like $3,000. So she has a couple of other channels too, if you like lifestyle YouTubing, where she does some of her travel and shopping and what I eat kind of videos, but I'm not into that. But yeah, if ASMR has ever worked for you or you're curious about it, I can't help but recommend Chiara, even though you'll be like, this is Italian, I have no idea what she's saying, but you know what? It probably won't matter. So there you go. All right, so I guess I will wrap up for today. We ran a little late, but it was fun to talk about this. We can continue this in Discord. I'm sure we can go to an appropriate channel, maybe the random friendly channel, and we can post about some of our favorite YouTubers. Thanks again, everybody, for joining live. If you're watching later, drop any questions in the comments. Give us a thumbs up. Anything helps the algorithm. And tell more people about the channel and the Discord and the book and the things. Yay! Yesterday in Gaming is now in the Discord, has entered the chat. All right, I'm going to flame us out of here. No, we have a theme song on this channel. Unusual activity detected in life after tech. Review the alert. Discord is serving CAPTCHA to all joiners and blocking suspicious joins. I think because we got so many people joining at the same time, Discord now thinks something is weird. So if you get a CAPTCHA, don't worry about it. It's just the auto mod, trying to keep us from being flooded. So yeah, but as of now, I think we're good. I'm going to mark it as resolved because everyone who's joining are names that I recognize. Increased activity from normal members, no action needed. Okay, that's pretty cool of Discord trying to protect me. I gotta say that's nice. Better than some other places. Okay, see everybody on the Discord until our show next week. Everybody have a super rest of your week. Self-care. And you keep going with your life after tech and during tech. Thanks again and see y'all soon.
It's whatever, and it's never. Is it better?